Stefon Diggs comes forward and says, baby, that BBL stinks. She removes him off of her Instagram and she gets embarrassed, mammy, because he says that her BBL is unbearable. He can't take the smell anymore. He can't handle it. So after the castle, she got canceled.
Cardi B's BBL smells like Flint, Michigan drinking water.
Cardi B does not stink, baby.
Hey y'all, real quick, so I did the research to see if BBLs actually stink. So I looked at 3 doctors and they all basically said the same thing. BBLs don't stink.
That these things after the procedure stank. You know how bad something has to smell for you to compare it to garbage? Close your eyes and picture a trash truck. Now picture the bottom of said trash truck. Now picture that juice getting put into somebody's tuchus. That's what Stefon Diggs said he'd been dealing with Cardi B.
It's about image, pressure, body modification, and what happens when the spotlight starts to burn instead of shine. At the center of it all, Cardi B, Grammy winner, reality TV star, businesswoman, and someone who's always been unapologetically herself. But lately, people are wondering if her body transformation, particularly her BBL, has become more of a liability than an asset. And to make it even messier, the rumors about her alleged breakup with NFL star Stefon Diggs are pointing to some very uncomfortable reasons why. Now let me start by saying this. Cardi B has always been upfront about her body. While a lot of celebrities pretend they've just been working out, or it's all natural, Cardi has never played that game. She's told us flat out what she's done, when she did it, and why. And for many people, that honesty is refreshing. But with that transparency also comes intense scrutiny, and lately, that scrutiny has reached a boiling point. So what's really going on? Let's rewind a bit and walk through Cardi's cosmetic journey. Before the fame, before the red carpets, Cardi was just a Bronx girl trying to survive and thrive. She's been vocal about how much her environment shaped her views on beauty. Where she grew up, being thick wasn't just a body type, it was the standard of beauty. Big hips, a big booty, curves in all the right places. It wasn't about being slim or toned. It was about volume, about presence. And Cardi, as she's said multiple times, didn't have that growing up. She was skinny, flat, and felt invisible. When she started stripping, those insecurities didn't just vanish. In fact, they were amplified. Being passed over for girls with fuller bodies, seeing firsthand how much money certain shapes made, all of that planted the seed for what would become a long journey with cosmetic enhancement. At just 18, Cardi made the decision to get her breasts done. It gave her confidence for a little while. But her insecurity about her butt never went away. So she took what money she had and went for what was, at the time, a cheap and risky option. Illegal butt injections from a woman later convicted of causing a patient's death. She paid $800 and had it done in a basement. No anesthesia, no doctor, no guarantees. The pain was intense. She leaked fluid for days. But in her mind, it was worth it. Because now she had the kind of body that got attention, admiration, and money. Fast forward a few years and Cardi's star begins to rise. She's on Love and Hip Hop. Then she's dropping music, blowing up, winning awards. But the body work didn't stop. After giving birth to her daughter, Culture, in 2018, she went back for more surgery. This time a breast lift and liposuction. But again, she didn't give herself time to heal. She was performing almost immediately after, pushing her body to the limit. Swollen feet, extreme fatigue, she went through it all because the pressure to bounce back was intense. She admitted later that it was too much and said she'd take a break from surgery. But that break didn't last long. In the years that followed, she continued altering her body, including getting her nose done after fillers didn't give her the results she wanted. And then came the speculation about a new BBL, or at least additional enhancement. After the birth of her son, fans noticed that her figure had shifted again. Her waist looked even smaller, her hips more exaggerated, and her behind. Well, let's just say it was the topic of a lot of Twitter threads. Then came Coachella 2024. Cardi B hit the stage in a performance that was supposed to be a highlight. But instead of focusing on the music, social media zeroed in on one viral photo. In the image, her body looked off, not like the curvy, balanced figure people were used to. Her proportions looked unnatural, her stance uncomfortable, and suddenly the internet was buzzing. What happened to Cardi B's body? She quickly claimed the photo was photoshopped, but people weren't buying it. Getty Images, the source of the photo, doesn't retouch event photos. What you see is what the camera captured. And unfortunately, what people saw sparked even more concern and criticism. And here's where things got really messy. Not long after the Coachella controversy, the rumors started swirling that Cardi and NFL star Stefon Diggs had broken up. But it wasn't just the split that caught attention, it was the alleged reason. According to gossip blogs and anonymous insiders, Stefon couldn't take the supposed odor coming from Cardi's BBL anymore. Yep, you heard that right. They said her butt allegedly had a smell, and Stefon was over it. The phrase BBL stinky started trending, with people speculating that her past surgeries and injections were causing hygiene issues. And while we're not here to body shame anyone, it's wild that something like this became the central rumor behind a celebrity breakup. Especially since Cardi has always been open about the risks of plastic surgery. Still, the idea that Stefon dumped her because of a surgical smell became the punchline of the week. And to make it worse, he allegedly ran right back to his ex, who welcomed him with open arms and receipts. She posted photos of them cuddling, screenshots of their messages, and not-so-subtle jabs at Cardi. In one post, she said, "I be with him in real life. We be doing it raw." The internet exploded. The breakup was already messy, but it got even worse when Cardi decided to clap back. In typical Cardi style, she didn't hold back. She called out the haters, dragging them for filth and using some very colorful language. "It's always you stupid, weak expletive. Never the bad expletive. Never the ones with money," she said. "It's always you bitter, funky, broke queens." Some people found it hilarious, classic Cardi. Others thought it was a deflection, an attempt to bury the real issue under shock value and insult. Either way, it didn't stop the backlash. In fact, it intensified it. People started analyzing her photos, comparing her old body to her current one, accusing her of using filters and Photoshop to mask what she really looked like. She posted a new photo trying to prove she still got it, but fans quickly pointed out that the image looked suspiciously edited. Suddenly, the narrative changed again. Now it wasn't just about how she looked in real life, but whether she was even being honest anymore. All of this has reignited a much bigger conversation. Has Cardi B gone too far with cosmetic surgery? And more importantly, is it hurting more than helping? What started as a way for her to gain confidence and take control of her image now seems to be spiraling into something else. A cycle of endless adjustments, each one chasing a standard that keeps moving. Cardi once warned young girls not to get butt shots if they didn't have enough fat. She's been vocal about regretting some of her early procedures, but at the same time, she keeps going back for more. And it's not just about her physical health or her relationship with Stefon. This entire situation speaks to a much larger problem of celebrity culture and the insane beauty standards placed on women, especially women of color. The pressure to look perfect, to bounce back after giving birth, to always be camera ready, to never age, it's relentless. And Cardi, for all her success, isn't immune. If anything, she's a prime example of how fame doesn't protect you from insecurity. Sometimes it magnifies it. Let's also be real about Stefon Diggs. If the rumors are true and he left Cardi over how her BBL allegedly smelled, that says more about him than it does about her. Because here's the thing, Stefon doesn't exactly have a great track record. He's known for being a player, literally and figuratively. He's been accused of cheating, being emotionally unavailable, and now, clout chasing. His ex even implied that he was never really done with her. So was the BBL just an excuse? A convenient reason to bounce? Possibly. And we also have to ask, would people be talking this much about Cardi's body if she weren't so open about it? Because let's be honest, tons of celebrities have had work done. BBLs, liposuction, implants, fillers, you name it. But they stay quiet. They claim it's just genetics or a good diet. Cardi didn't do that. She told the truth. And in some ways, she's being punished for it. Her transparency made her relatable, but it also made her a target. So what happens now? Will Cardi respond again? Will she disappear for a bit and come back with a new look? Will she finally walk away from the surgery table for good? Only time will tell. But one thing is clear, this story is bigger than a breakup. It's about identity, insecurity, and the heavy cost of chasing an image in front of millions. Now I want to hear from you. Do you think Stefon really broke up with Cardi over her BBL? Or was that just gossip? Do you believe there's truth to the rumors about her surgery backfiring? Or is this just another example of the internet doing what it does best? building someone up, then tearing them down? And more importantly, where do we draw the line between holding public figures accountable and just being cruel? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I want to hear everything.